Oh, this one. This episode is once again consequential. It connects to the big story. It once again is testing the morals of the group. It is shooting laser blasts all around, and it introduces something or someone we are familiar with. If you think about it, I think it's time to make a checklist that I'm going to cover every week from now on. Here it goes. The Bad Batch checklist. The episode is a classic Bad Batch story from now on if it meets these criteria. 1. It contains a shootout. 2. Hunter's got an important character, moment, or realization. In this episode, it was about picking a side and doing the right thing. 3. Omega learns something about herself. 4. Omega gets into trouble at some point. 5. Wrecker has a headache. 6. The Batch goes to a planet we're familiar or at least vaguely familiar with. 7. There's an ending that teases future conflict. Now, if I've forgotten one or you want to contribute to the list, let me know in the comment section and maybe I'll include it in the list. Okay, now for the actual episode because it ticks all of these boxes. Hi, fellow Disney Plus watchers. This is Thoughts After a Disney Plus Watch, where we review everything new Disney Plus coming out, and I'm glad you're watching. I will warn you, there are going to be spoilers for The Bad Batch episode 6. If you haven't watched it yet, go check it out. It checks all the boxes for my checklist, so that means it is worth it. I think it works that way. Okay, here we go. First question. Why them? No, seriously, Trace and Rava are perfectly serviceable, but their arc in the Clone Wars Season 7 was a bit repetitive and ultimately a little on the boring side. So they haven't really made an impression on me, to be perfectly honest. I also don't really get why these two of all people had to return, because I would be just as fine. No, it would be better actually if these characters were two completely new ones. Not only because I don't really care about Trace and Rafa, but also because it makes the universe feel more big in scale. The more we see returning characters, the smaller the Star Wars universe appears to be. Is it safe to say that this is the episode that is most grand in scale in terms of action and set pieces? I think it definitely feels like it. The final action sequence where Tech hacks into the system to control those clankers, the action got really epic in scope, especially the moment where everyone leaves the building to fight the rest of the police droid army. And every time that damn crossbow is on screen, I almost get chills, man. The guy or gal who designed this weapon deserves a bonus. I'm so hyped every time it's on the screen, and it will be really hard to resist the urge putting these crossbow images in the thumbnails every time. Oh, and by the way, if you're one that can't get enough of Disney Plus, this is the only channel that's specifically and absolutely only Disney Plus thoughts and reviews. Episode per episode, we all watch together. You'll have an idea on what to expect. Click that button and that bell if you want to follow along. Thank you so much. Okay, with that out of the way, Wrecker's headache. I'm sure everybody's talking about it, so it will be hard for me to add something to the discussion. I know I didn't mention it before in my reviews just because I wasn't entirely sure and didn't think it was that big of a deal yet. Now I'm just like all of you are, completely convinced this good soldiers follow orders drama is coming in the most dramatic way possible. Maybe it's happening in the finale in a big way, we don't know, but I imagine that the show will hold its cards close to the chest in the following weeks, but I'm pretty interested about where this is going to go. I really like the characterization of Sid, by the way. I liked her once again in this episode. I mean, her voice and her presence is really good, but I'm mainly talking about her sarcastic way of communicating, and she really feels like someone with a thick skin who can hold up on her own in this crime world. And I'm looking forward to meeting all these characters that are working with her and are under her wing and stuff. Oh, and I really dig that this episode went to Corellia. You know, when the name was mentioned, I gasped a little. As a big fan of the first 10 minutes of Solo: A Star Wars Story, I was almost hoping the episode would be taking place in broad daylight. Now, overall, because this is once again a really good episode, which teases some intrigue for the future, which gives Omega a new skill to learn, which is just showcasing great action set pieces. There's not even an awful lot to say every week. I'm really testing myself doing weekly reviews for this thing, but let me know if you still enjoy it, because this story just evolves slowly and naturally in episode formats that are really, checklisty. That's not a word. It's not a word. I'm thinking about wrapping this up. If you're interested in thoughts on previous episodes, it's all in the description, or you can browse the channel page. Did you like this video? Then all it takes is to click that blue little hand down there. Thanks. I will be back next week with a new episode as well as Big Shot, and of course Loki is coming out this Wednesday. So excited for that. Thank you so much for watching. For now, have a wonderful day and see ya.